bigger than the ups and downs. You always been around. Is it gonna end like this? Not sure if this is something I'd get past. Funny how forever doesn't last. You made mistakes, I made some too. Can't put it all on you. Who knew love could hurt like this? It'd be easy for me to just walk away, but I remember all the promises we made. We said whatever it takes. I promised, you promised, we promised to stay down until all. We said whatever it takes. To love and to hold, to be true. Never put no one. We said whatever it takes. I promised, you promised, we promised to stay down until all. I'll do whatever it takes. To love and to hold, to be true. Never put no one before you. It's been some time now, yeah, I still love you. Do you feel the way I feel? When I'm all alone, you're all that's on my mind. You have my heart after all this time. Can we give the trust back that we lost? Can we just restart back to you and me? See, it'd be easy for me to walk away, but I remember all the promises we made. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes, I'll do whatever it takes to hold, to be true. Never put no one. We said whatever it takes. I promised, you promised, we promised. Do whatever to stay down until all. I'll do whatever it takes to love and to hold, to be true. Never put no one before you. I never saw this coming. Can we give it one more try? Deep down inside, you'll always be mine. Our love is worth fighting for. I'll do whatever. We promise to stay down until I'll do whatever it takes to love and to hold, to be true. Oh no, never no. Before you, don't you give up on me.
Check 1 2, check 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Let me make sure I'm able to be heard because when we first got on, there was a couple of technical difficulties. So let's make sure I'm able to be heard right now. Can you guys hear me? If you can, give me a thumbs up. What's going on, everybody? All right, see, Damon, what's up, brother? Thank you for being here. Let's get into it, y'all. Welcome. It's Circle Talk with your good buddy DH. I am here. I'm live in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona today. It's really chill, not real hot, which is great. But I'm in a different state with some amazing people. Shout out to Mary Lou and her family for allowing me to hang out with them for the weekend and, spend some time here with a bunch of friends. It's going to be a long weekend, but we have an amazing show today, which I am really, really excited about. Can I have a couple great announcements that I'm going to get to you before we do? I want to give a shout out to my sponsors. Shout out to iShotYou.com. Thank you so much for your continued support and continual knowledge and advice on this thing called podcasting, media work, and everything when it comes to photography and videography. If you guys are locally in the Washington area and need somebody to get your pictures done, hit up Marvin Patterson at iShotYou.com. Tell him I sent you, get you done right. Next, Icon ENT. Thank you so much for continuing to support me, brother. He is doing amazing things. If you guys are going to any of these events that are going on in the community, if you want to go in style, hit up Icon ENT. They are in charge of the mobile bus extravagance. They got music, they got videos, they got the whole nine going on with their bus inventory that they have, doing amazing things. So make sure you guys hit up Icon ENT. Last but not least, I want to give a huge shout out to my girl Zakia for continued support. The Chaya Fashion. If you guys have not checked out the Chaya Fashion, make sure you go to chayafashion.com and check out all the amazing events that she is doing in our community and in the communities around. So let me go ahead and get into these quick announcements, and then I'm going to bring the man of the hour on the stage. First off, I've been working really hard this year to try and create a collective of amazing people to help continue this podcast. It's not easy. Obviously, it's not cheap. It's money runs the world. Obviously, you know. And with that, I've been working really hard out in trying to continue to just meet and greet new faces all around the community. And I have found two great people to jump on and be a part of the Circle Talk podcast. So first off, I want to give a huge shout out to a good friend of mine, Ricky Minna. I don't know if you guys know who Ricky Minna is, but I had him on for our first showing of this year. He is got his own nonprofit called Heart of a Hero, and he is the man that I have partnered with to do for the next 6 months. We're going to do a podcast every first of the month where we're going to focus on mental health and mental illness and trying to create boundaries and ways to deal with it. So every first of the month, you'll see myself and Ricky Minna teaming up to share our knowledge, insight, and advice on mental health. So shout out to Ricky Minna and Heart of a Hero for teaming up and being a part of the Circle Talk family. Secondly, I'm really excited about this one. I've really been working hard with her and checking out her movement. And I want to add Marquita Evans, also the creator of Intentions Juice and Smoothie Bar in Tacoma, Washington. I am so excited to have her be a part of the team as well. She's going to be teaming up with us and allowing us to do events at her establishment every month. We're going to do one once a month, and we're going to be at her establishment. We're going to be doing live showings, and we're going to have an audience there to ask questions, cheer us on, and be a part of the Circle Talk family. So thank you so much, Marquita. Thank you so much, Ricky Minna, for being a part of this movement. It's such an amazing feeling when you know you got great people doing great things in community, and they team up to create something amazing for everyone, not just for us, but for everyone that is a part of it. So yes, big things happening in the Circle Talk family, and watch for that. Next week, we're going to be sitting down at Intention Smoothies with Kareem Razak, a good friend of mine that is doing amazing work. You guys have to tune in next week. We're going to be live from Intentions Juice and Smoothie Bar. So great things happening. Wanted to get that information out to you guys, but this isn't always about us. It's about the viewers and the guests that we bring on. And today's guest, Mr. Anthony Toomer, is an amazing guy. I met him, we'll get into shop culture. We met on Shop Culture Live, and the man knows his stuff and isn't afraid to speak his truth. And we're going to get to a little bit about what he's all about. It's going to be family, friends, and football. That's what we're talking about today. Obviously, y'all see we're getting ready for the Seahawks game. Shout out, we're going to watch the Seahawks get their dub today. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I'm thinking we're going to take it down. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring him on, and we'll talk with him about family, friends, and football. Anthony Toomer's in the building. Hey, what's good, fam? What's good? Can you hear me?
Man, I can hear you. I got a little static on my end, but we're going to try to make it work, bro.
Yeah.
We done already been through the worst, so we're going to try to do what we can, all right? We're going to make it work.
Absolutely.
Make it work. What's going on, my
Absolutely,
guy?
man. I appreciate you for being here, brother. Obviously, we've had our encounters a couple times at events and obviously on set at Shop Culture Live, which we will get into all of that. But I thank you for
Yep,
being here,
yep.
man. How you been?
See, now I'm losing you.
You can't hear me now?
I can hear you, but it's like real choppy, real choppy.
Oh, it's probably the reception. I'm a long way from home, so I'm not really sure exactly what's happening here. But guys, we're gonna try and get through it the best way we know how to. If you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up, guys. If you guys can still hear me out there, can you hear me too?
I got you. I
All
got
right.
you.
So how about we do this? How about we jump into where it all started from you, your upbringing, born, raised. Let us know about the family life.
Okay. Born here in Seattle, man. My dad was in the Navy and the Coast Guard, so we moved a little bit. Moved up West Coast a little bit. So, but I call Seattle home. Seattle's always gonna be home. Grew up in the CD. Moved to Kent. Wasn't too much. What my upbringing wasn't too different than most. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Normal life. You know what I mean? Played ball. Ran track. Played basketball. Football was always had my heart, but ran track and played basketball before I started playing ball. So normal upbringing, man. Not
Yeah.
not too much, different than anybody else's, man. We had struggles just like everybody else.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And after you realized your passion for sports, it sounded like you was all about trying to be active. Which one did you lean the most towards? Because obviously everybody talks about you in football, but was that always your calling was for football? Or
You know what's crazy? It wasn't really until high school till I really started taking football serious. It was I
yeah,
was always a track guy.
yeah,
Speed was my thing. I love to run, man. So transitioning in the corner, it just made sense. But I've always had a love for track, man. Like I still sit down and me and my kids will sit and watch track like during track season. I'll go to as many
yeah,
track meets as I can. I watch, year-round track. I still do speed training. Speed will
yeah.
always be my first love, man. So track actually had it for me. It wasn't until
Absolutely.
I got to high school and they were like, "Man, you kind of nice at this corner thing. You should kind of take it serious. Start playing a little bit more." Um,
Yeah,
but being the knucklehead that I was, I just could never keep myself out of trouble long enough to make it stick. You know what I mean? I had some
yeah,
offers come around and stuff like that, man. But I was young and dumb. I was a knucklehead, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna hide it. I made some mistakes and ruined my opportunities. And
mhm,
that's kind of like how we got here today. You know what I mean? Is
yeah,
is
yeah.
learning from my own mistakes and wanting to help somebody else not make those same mistakes.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into it because I play a little track. I was a little cornerback. I wasn't nothing special, but my team was fifth in state when we was doing track or whatnot. Nothing too nice. But what was your favorite runs? What
That's
was your
what's up.
runs where you specialized in, man? Which one was you nice in?
Man, listen, I'm a corner. I'm a corner at heart, man. Man zone don't matter. I'm a shutdown. Tell me who your best man, and I'm gonna take him out the game. Like that's I take pride in the challenge, right?
Yeah,
I always tell my sons, to play corner, man, you got to have a certain attitude, a certain dog in you, because everything you do is gonna be on film, like good or bad, you're gonna be on
true.
film. So you just got to have this dog in you, and you got to have a want to be great, right? to be a
Hmm.
to be a good corner, you really have to really want to be great because, like I said, everything you do, whether good or bad, is going to be on film, right? You see
Yeah,
somebody
absolutely.
giving up a 50-yard touchdown, somebody in the secondary gave up, right? Somebody in the secondary had a
Yeah.
mistake, didn't
Hmm.
do their job. So everything you do is broadcasted. So I love the challenge, man. I love being able to just say, "Oh, that's your best guy. Go ahead, I'm gonna eat him up." I like that. It's the
Absolutely.
dog in me, man.
Hey, so after high school, what'd you end up doing after high school? What'd you decide you wanted to do after that?
Well, after I blew my shot, I had a scholarship to USC,
Yeah.
uh, and I blew it. I made some mistakes, and I blew that. So then I had to make a decision what I was going to do. So I actually went to culinary school. I love to cook. Cooking is
Oh, wow.
a passion of mine. My sister, she's in the comments. I see you, Shay. I love you. She'll tell you, you know what I'm saying? Cooking is,
Yeah.
I've been cooking since I was like 4 years old. My dad's from the South. So he had me in the kitchen, man, starting to cook meals, 4 or 5 years old. So cooking will always be a specialty of mine. So I went to culinary
Yeah.
school right out of high school. And then I was kind of a wandering soul for a little bit. So when I got out
Mm.
of culinary school, I was like, is this really a passion or is it like a hobby thing? I don't really want to work in somebody else's kitchen, have somebody telling me what to do. But
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
it's just being young and dumb. So now then I went to the Navy. My dad was
Mm.
in the Navy. I sat down, talked to some people that I knew that had served, and I was like, seems like it'll be a good option for me. Help me get some structure, help me maybe get my stuff together. You know what I mean? Give me
Yeah.
somewhere to head to. Something to aspire to. So I joined the Navy.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about the Navy life. What did you get from it? Did you excel? Was it something that you were just there for the time being, or what is your
Oh, I
thoughts
loved
on
it.
it?
I loved it. It gave me a person that had so many different skills, but no real structure, no real guidance on where I was headed. After I lost my scholarship,
Mm.
man, I was lost. I was like, I don't know. I was back in the streets. I was out there, man. So joining the
Yeah.
Navy, and I had my daughter. So I had my oldest child. I had her right out of boot camp. Like literally, she was
Okay.
born like 2 weeks. I hadn't even made it to my duty station yet, and my daughter was born. So here I am, an 18-year-old kid, about to be 19. I got
Yeah.
a kid now, um
Right.
and it was like a light switch. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
literally like overnight. I had this little being, right, like that I was responsible for, and that was looking to me to do everything. And it was a blessing, man, for me to go into the Navy right at that time, because it allowed me to be in a position where I could take care of my child and not have to worry about where that money was going to come from, where the insurance and all of that, how I was going to handle all that. Like being 18 and out on your own, and I
Mm.
mean like really on your own, and you got a child. I wasn't going to be a statistic. I wasn't going to allow myself to fall into that category of absent fathers. And this was
Right.
mine. This was my creation. I had to do whatever I had to do. So I made the best out of it, man. I really enjoyed my time in the Navy. I got to travel the world. I've seen some of the most exotic places. I've been to Dubai 3 times and never paid for it.
Wow.
You
That's
know,
amazing.
so
There's a lot of people that
I've been
can't say
to
that.
Greece, Guam, Singapore. I've seen some of the most exotic places in the world, and I've never spent a dollar to travel to any of them. You know what I mean? I spent a lot of money while I was there, probably
Yeah.
more money than I should have.
Yeah.
Man. But
Absolutely.
it was, to me, it was a really good experience. Honestly, I wish that I would have had a little bit more guidance while I was there, because
Hmm.
I probably would stay. I probably would have
Yeah.
stayed in the Navy. You know,
Hmm. How long were you in for? Just
4.5 years.
4.5 years. Okay. We appreciate your service too, by the way. So
Oh man, it was a pleasure of mine. Honestly, I really enjoyed my time, and even my time in the sand and in my time in the dirt. You know what I mean? I really
yeah.
enjoyed serving my country. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
we can go in all the reasons, and the black and white and all the other stuff, but it's still my country, right? We still got to live here, and it's still got to be
Right.
protected. So it was something that I enjoyed doing. I It's always weird to me when people say thank you for your service, because I'm like, it was a duty for me. Like, it was something that I wanted to do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so it's always really, I never know how to respond when somebody says it. So it's always like, I appreciate it. It was
Yeah.
something that I wanted to do, was in my heart to do. So how do you thank somebody for doing what they felt like they had to do?
True. Yes, my father was in the military, and he served a couple times, and like just like you, he went all over the world and seen so many things that he told us about, and you know he came back the second one and his second time in from South Korea, and something just wasn't right. I don't know if you've experienced any PTSD or anything, but he has really bad case of PTSD. Did you ever experience any of that from serving at all?
It changes you, right? Being realistic, definitely. I go get counseling, right?
Mm.
I had times in my life where it was really difficult to deal with some of the things that that we have to do and that we've seen and everything like that. But
Mm.
um, I try to live in today, right?
Mm.
So I try not to let the things that I've seen and the things that I've done in any of my past, because I mean, being a black man in America, you're almost born with PTSD, right?
Yeah.
Just growing up here in America. So for me, I never let any of my situations try to beat me down, or you know what I mean, or get too out ahead of me where I can't control it. So for as much as it has changed me, I feel like I beat it. You know what I mean? I feel like
Mhm.
I won that battle.
Mm. Mm. That's interesting. You don't, and I don't mean to dig into this, but I think at the same
Go
time,
ahead.
I kind of
Go ahead.
I kind of feel like, do you ever have any flashbacks at all of the things that you seen or went
I don't sleep.
through?
I don't sleep very well.
Hmm.
Um, Without giving a whole lot of detail about it, um, I don't sleep very well. We'll just say that. Like I'm a night owl and I'm up early.
Hmm.
Um, and I'll leave it at that. Um, but yeah, it definitely changed me 100% for sure.
Well,
I
too,
probably haven't had it's been years since I've had like a full night's sleep.
right. And I mean, I don't know what you're going through. I can't even speak for it. I know my experience from my dad and the things that he deal with, and so that's why when I hear about anyone that has been through the military, I always want to know their experience so I can kind of I know you can't compare, your experience to my dad's experience, but at the same time, PTSD is real. Even I deal with it still to this day. And
Sure.
so I just wanted to kind of get your thoughts on it and see how things are going in your life.
It is real, man.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
everybody deals with it differently. Um,
Mhm.
Thank God that I have 5 beautiful children that keep me
Yeah,
very, very busy and
yeah,
keep my mind focused on everyday tasks, because I'm always running around behind them. You know what I'm saying? Like a chicken with
absolutely.
my head cut off. So,
Yeah,
you know, uh, I don't have time. You know what I mean? Like
right.
I focus so much on trying to be a good father and trying to make sure that, these boys and my daughter have everything that they need, and
Yeah,
most of what they want, if I can provide it, that I just don't have time for outward stress. You know what I mean? Like if,
right.
if somebody ain't dying, then I can get through it.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate that. We're gonna dig into your family here in a minute, but let's go into the friends portion of this conversation. Uh, do you have a ton of friends that are still kind of going through the military, serving, or
No, I'm completely done, everything like that. But I still have a whole bunch of friends. I actually have a friend of mine, Jesse Johnson, who just made senior chief. If you're watching, brother, congratulations, my boy. E8, man, you're almost to E9, brother. I'm
yeah,
so proud of you, man. We came in together, man. Like, dude, if when you see this, man, I'm so proud of you, bro. You are almost to the end of that enlisted journey, bro. Like to be an E8, to be senior chief. Most people don't even make it to see chief in their career. So shout out
yeah,
to that brother. You know what I'm saying? Still doing amazing
yeah.
things. I got a whole bunch of friends that are still serving and doing wonderful things, man. So shout out to them brothers and
Awesome.
them guys that I know that are still in.
Absolutely. So we got a couple friends in common. Obviously, I want to dig into something that we had talked about off air, but I met you through shop culture. Obviously, I noticed the movement about a year ago, and I went to one of you guys's get-togethers, and we met at the get-together, and great
Sure.
guy. Um, I got exactly what I expected because I watched you before I actually met you, and so I
Yes,
was
sir.
like, when I first met you, you was, kind of doing your thing, but you weren't trying to talk to nobody. They was coming up and talking to you.
Yeah, man, that's that military in me, man. That's like
Yeah.
that's whenever I'm in a new setting, new people, I'm always in the corner of a room somewhere, just scanning the room,
Yep.
reading people. It takes me a while sometimes to kind of warm up to the moment, but
Oh yeah.
it's just that military man in me. Just being in a new environment, I gotta always scan the room. I gotta know where everybody's at, and who's
Yeah.
where, who's doing
Yeah.
what, who's gonna cause a problem.
Yep.
It's just the
Yep.
military in me, brother.
Yeah, it was that military in you that kept me I was very timid about saying what's up, what I'm saying?
Oh man, I'm so
everybody
sorry, brother.
everybody
I'm
knew I
so
was
sorry.
coming. Everybody knew I was coming, and I was like videotaping the whole thing, and then like I passed you up quick fast, but then I wanted to come back and at least say hello. So I waited a few minutes,
Man,
and then
I'm glad we was able to have a moment, man. I'm
hey,
glad we was able
absolutely. You was talking to Julie. I still remember you was talking to Julie, and so I was like, let me slide in here because I know Julie. You're talking to Julie. That'd be a perfect
I
opportunity
remember
for
that.
me to say what's up. And so I said, what's up to you? So tell me a little bit about your time on Shop Culture. I mean, obviously, let's keep it 100, keep it real. I mean, I used to love watching you guys get down. I don't know what's going on now. I'm not. Just tell me about it.
Yeah. So what ended up happening, it was crazy. So one day I was out on my motorcycle and I was in Kent. And I was like, I've known Barry for years. We've known each other for a long time. He used to have like this barbers like flag football league. And
Okay.
and they called me the assassin because Barry calls me, just know the game's gonna change if I show up. So it started off there, right? Him and my cousin used to own a barbershop together. They branched off to do their own thing now. Shout out to both of them. But so I got into the league, was playing with Barry for years. So I was in the Kent probably like last September. And I was in Kent on a cycle and I was like, let me stop by the barbershop. I was going through some depression things. One of my sons had just moved to Texas. So I was really just down, not really feeling anything, not really feeling good. So I stopped at the barbershop and we were talking about the Seahawks. And we got to just talking about technique. I'm a big technique guy. I'm a big footwork technique guy. I don't care really, about how special a guy is. If a guy don't have technique, he's not that great, right? So we were breaking some, and Barry started. He was like, "Man, we should get on a podcast together." So I said, "Okay, well, I'll get back to you. I'm kind of going through things right now. Let you know." So about a month goes by, and I finally was able to kind of come out of what I call my cave. When I go into these, I suffer from depression. Mental health is real, folks. So if you suffer from any mental health, please go get checked. I work in mental health daily. Please go get yourself checked. Mental health is real. Black folks, Black men, mental health is real. We can suffer from depression. We can suffer from mental health, and we can still go be checked and still be strong Black men. Please go get yourself checked.
Absolutely.
So when I was able to come out of that through that series, I finally reached out to him, and he was like, "No, why don't you come be a guest?" So we did a couple of guest spots on live and everything like that. And I just kind of fell in love with it. You know what I mean? It was just had a good time being me and just talking, man. I'm one of those people I can talk about anything. I'm a knowledge seeker. I'm always reading. I'm always seeking some knowledge about it. I am a dictionary, bro. I am an encyclopedia of like the dumbest useless facts, bro. I could literally rattle off a bunch of useless facts about the world. Like, and it's weird. Like, I love to read. I love learning, right? So being on the podcast, it gave me a space to kind of just rattle off all that useless information that I'm so used to reading and getting, right? So it gave me a space really to just kind of run my mouth, you know what I mean? And just kind of share myself with the world. I've heard for a long time that, hey, you can really talk. You should try a podcast. I didn't know how to get any of that started. I didn't know anything about podcasting. I had listened to a couple. I listened to Charlemagne the God's podcast. I listened to a couple other murder podcasts, all kind of stuff, right? And never had really any inclination on how to do it or get started or why. So when Barry brought me in, it was really great. It was fun. We had a good time. You know what I mean? Shout out to those brothers. I hope they're doing well.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Shop Culture. They got me started. But some things happen, as they always do. Life happens, things change. And we went through some things as a team, right? Me, Barry,
Right.
and Nick, we went through some things, and I'm never been one to really bash another man, so I'm not gonna do that. There was just some that we didn't agree on, right?
Right.
Some things that we didn't see eye to eye on, and it was just time for me to go. We had a
Yeah.
really good solid run for almost a full year.
Hmm.
And I really do appreciate those brothers for giving me an opportunity to get on and run my mouth. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and be in their space, because again, they already had their podcast going and all of that. So for them to give me an opportunity to step in that light, in that realm, and
Hmm.
show me that I can do this, means a lot to me.
Yeah.
No, we're not together now and still doing that project, but I wish them all the best of luck in everything that they do.
Yeah.
It just was time for me to kind of step away and search for a new lane, new avenue. You know what I mean?
Yep. So I'm just gonna say this real quick because like I enjoyed watching you guys together. I know that you guys have obviously taken your different paths, but um, the interaction between you and Barry was so comical at times. like like you guys are
Man,
from two
because it was
different
so
wavelengths of
genuine.
life, bro.
So far different, bro. But it was genuine. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
have such a real bond. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it was real genuine interaction. A lot of times, like we would discuss our topics, but we would never say, okay, I'm gonna say this, you say this. We never had that. So
Right.
everything that people saw was real from us. You know what I mean? And that's
Absolutely.
what gave it its flavor. Was that I could be me, and as wild as I am, and me, I get wild sometimes, bro.
You a wild
I will
boy.
say whatever's on my mind. I don't care,
Yeah.
and then trying to bring that out of Barry sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Was fun because there be times where he can be conservative sometimes. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
very
But but
very
but
conservative most
drawing
of
him
the
in
time.
sometimes and getting him to be wild and to see Barry, step out of that shell was dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it
Yeah.
was fun,
Absolutely.
man. It was a great experience, man. It was genuine. You know what I mean? And
So
we had
what's
some great
next,
topics.
man?
You know what I mean?
So what's next? Because I know there's a lot of people out there that were tuning in to see Toon go up there and speak his mind. What's the plan? Are you eventually thinking about opening up your own? What's good? What's going down?
So I appreciate that, fam. Actually, me and Terry Youngman, we got something coming up. You know what I'm saying? Urban World Talk. We're gonna be popping that off soon. We're
Yeah.
waiting on the studio to get finished. It's in construction. It should be finished by the end of this month.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna pump out the first day. We're hoping to get our first show up around between the 20th and 25th. We're gonna try to get our first episode out. Just kind of a year recap.
Hmm.
2022 recap. Going over some stuff, introducing ourselves
Yeah.
to the world, kind of the
Yeah.
rebrand. You know what I mean? So we're gonna do
Absolutely.
that, and then you know me, man. I'm always on the field, brother. You can always find me on a football field somewhere, training
Yeah.
somebody, coaching somebody, trying to get
Yeah.
this next generation ready, man. If
Hey,
anybody's
let
ever
me
looking
know.
for Tune, look
Hey,
on the
let me know
football
when you
field.
guys get started, though, bro. Because I definitely would love to come on and participate any way that I possibly can. I can, like I said, if you need somebody
I
to,
got some big ideas for you. I'm gonna shoot some. We're gonna
yeah,
talk offline,
shoot them.
but
Let's
trust me
do
when I
it.
take Circle Talk. Listen, me and D gonna have some things for y'all coming up this next 7-on-7 in football season. Trust me, I got some ideas for you,
Absolutely.
brother.
Okay, okay. We'll talk offset about that, but let's do that since you
Yeah,
kind of
we definitely
ventured
gonna talk
into
about that.
to the coaching. Let's talk a little bit about coaching. How important is it to
Let's
you
get
to
into it,
coaching these kids? How important is that?
man. Listen, everything to me, man. Listen, I wake up every day, and my plan is to help this next generation every single day. Um,
Mhm.
I wouldn't be here today, where I'm at today, this successful man that I have become, if it wasn't
Mhm.
for being allowed to coach these young men, because it gave me even more direction, right? It
Yeah.
gave me goals. It gave me a lane and it gave me a different passion. And what's crazy is I used to tell people I would never coach. I was like, I don't want to coach
Mhm.
football. When I
Right.
coach, that means my career's over. If I accept that I'm a coach now, that means that I'm accepting that my career is coming to an end, right?
Mhm.
And for the first few years, I literally was going back and forth. I was playing semi-pro. I coach football. I literally would be at practice till like 7:30, leave practice,
Mhm.
go to semi-pro practice, come back, pick my kids up. Man,
Yeah,
it was a wild time, man. But
yeah.
um coaching this next generation, man, is everything to me, man. It really is my life's passion. If I could say one thing will be my life's work, it will be just seeing that this next generation be successful, right? Um I have a I have a real love for these kids. Like and honestly, I couldn't even tell you where it started or how it came about. I really don't know. It was just
Mhm.
one day I was asked to kind of help be an assistant coach on some team. They needed somebody to help with some defense, and
Yeah.
it was like my son's second grade team, and it was like overnight, bro. I fell in love. And
Yeah.
it was like it was crazy because it wasn't it wasn't coaching that I fell in love with. It was seeing these eyes light up, man. Seeing these kids pick up everything that you put into them, right?
Yeah.
Seeing these kids change their lives. You know what I mean? I've had some rough kids. You know what I mean? Some kids that come where I come from had a really rough time at it, man. And to see this generation pick it up, man, and to see some of these kids change your life just because you're there, just because you're pouring into them, not because you're pouring football knowledge into them, but because you're putting your time and your energy and your passion and your
Yeah.
love into them. To see that from these kids, man, is everything to me, dude. Like
Absolutely.
I can't even describe to you. I'm about to tear up, man. I can't even describe to you the feeling I get working with this next generation, man. Like if I could do it every day, and I would quit my job. I would literally just coach and train and just work with these kids, man, because it's everything, man. It really is, bro. I love it.
I think a lot of times you deal with kids that have families, but families that don't pour into them. And when you decided to take up coaching, you didn't take up coaching to coach. You took up coaching to pour into them. A lot of them go through stuff. Like for me, I mean, I was one of those kids that never really had a father figure around. My dad was in the military, and when he wasn't in the military, he was drinking and being abusive and doing things that a real father's not
Yes,
supposed
sir.
to do. So for me, I played basketball, football, track, anything that I could do where I could be around
Right,
good
right.
people.
Just to be
You
around
know,
some good people. Yeah,
good
100%.
vibes. And so you sound like exactly the type of person I was looking for, somebody that wanted to pour into me and see me be successful, not just on the football field, but in life. And so, man, we appreciate you. We know we need more of us. There's more of us that are needed out there. Anybody that's watching that ever had that desire to want to coach, try it. You know what I'm saying? Don't hesitate, because these kids
Don't hesitate, man.
need they need
Don't
it.
hesitate. Don't
You
even think
know?
about it. Like even if you got a past, you know what I mean? Like I
Mhm.
tell guys all the
Yep,
time, even if you got a past, man, put it behind you, right? Pour that
absolutely.
same energy into changing your life into the
Yep,
next kid, right? Because they might have the same struggles. You know what I mean? We need more of us to not be afraid of our past so that we can
hmm,
pour into the next, right? So that they can understand that we understand them. We've been
yeah,
there too.
we've been there. We all been there. So, I mean, definitely do it. I find myself every time, because my son has actually got a game right now, and I'm out here, but
Yes,
I'm
sir.
rooting my boy on. Good luck, Davion. He's playing his first basketball game. 5 years old.
Yes,
Good
sir.
but like, how, let's venture over to that part. How important is your family?
I tell my kids every day they saved my life. All the time. I tell my kids all the time they saved my life, man. I was a reckless, bro. I was young, dumb, and had no concern for life.
Yeah,
I used to tell people 21 is a 21. I ain't gonna be 21. I'll never see that. For what? I had no dreams of past 21.
yeah,
After even playing ball in high school, right? Even getting offers and scholarships, like it wasn't that world wasn't real to me, right? Um, and then to have a life, they saved my life. They really did. having a daughter first, right? Man, it if your kids don't change who you are, I don't know who you are,
Right.
right? I had to be somebody
Yeah.
else. I had to be different. I could not be the man that I was and lead them in that darkness. I couldn't I could not be responsible for putting another black man in the situations I put myself into. All right. I was not
Mhm.
I was not going to allow my sons to be anything else but respectable men, not just black men, but respectable men with dreams and goals and aspirations to not only do better for themselves, but do better for the community, right?
Yeah.
I've done enough. I've done enough destruction, right?
Right.
Um, I put enough evil in this world, right? I put enough darkness in this world that I wasn't going to be responsible for anymore. I
Absolutely.
wasn't going to allow that to be who I was as a parent. I was going to be a dad. And so, like now, even now, I'm a father. Three of my boys live with me currently. Um, and I would do anything in this world to make sure that they and the young men and women that I train and work with never
Mhm.
go through the things that I did. Right?
Right.
They say, the best lesson learned is experience. No, I say the best lesson learned is learning from somebody else's experience. And I've had
Yes.
enough experience putting evilness and destruction in this world that I couldn't be responsible for allowing another generation to do it, right? So my family is they keep me alive, brother.
Yeah. Absolutely. Facts. I think it's an amazing thing when you think about your upbringing and the things that you used to do back in the day and how wild you was, and then that seed is dropped and how your life totally changes like that.
Man, I thank God that I picked up on that. We see it all the time. Some guys, some brothers, some men and women just don't get it. I thank
Hmm.
God that I had the foresight to get it, right? And
Yeah.
not to say that I've been perfect or that I haven't bumped my head, you know what I mean? Or I haven't made my mistakes because I have, right?
Right.
But I always tried to keep at the forefront of my mind so that the mistakes I made were never so great that I couldn't come back and change it. I couldn't make up for it, that I couldn't be in my kid's life, right? That
Right.
I couldn't be here, right?
Yeah.
And that was the biggest thing for me is being active and being present was always in the forefront no matter what I did. And again, I've made some mistakes, not to say that I haven't done some things that I'm not proud of, since my
Right.
kids have been born. But I
Yeah.
always said, if I do something, make sure that you can be available no matter what
Yeah.
you do. You better be available for them because they deserve better.
Yep. I think I don't think there's a perfect parent out here in this world. I think
Hmm.
it's
Right.
all there's mistakes. Even the best parent in the world makes mistakes along the way.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
it's
Oh yeah.
it's like you say you got to learn from those mistakes and try and do better and not continue making those same mistakes over and over and over again. Those are the times when you are growing and excelling and becoming a better version of yourself as a parent, as a role model, as a positive influencer in your family. It's growth. It's called growth. And so the mistakes are there, but we all gonna make them. It's what we do after those mistakes that really make
Yep.
or break us as parents and leaders in this world. And so you're great, man. You're doing good. I mean, you're doing exactly
I
what you're
appreciate
supposed
you,
to be
brother.
doing. Don't
I
stop. I'm
appreciate you,
telling
brother.
you, man. Like, I am so glad that we had this talk. I knew when I first met you that one day we was gonna have a sit down. I mean, me and Barry, we talk a lot. And Barry's very soft spoken, but you can almost, and this is no shot at Barry. Barry, I love you if you're watching. but you can almost
That's my
pinpoint
boy.
answers when you to the questions that you ask him. You can always pinpoint the answers. You can almost pinpoint what he's going to say. With you,
Yep.
you just never know what's going to come out. I never knew that. I never knew that you knew how to cook like that. I didn't know you went to culinary school. That's something
Yes,
that caught
sir.
me off guard. Like, I heard
Yes,
about the
sir.
military part, but I didn't realize how emotional it made you. It turned like PTSD is real. Mental health is real. Mental illness is real. And I never seen that because you carry yourself with so much stature and strong
I,
ability. Like you
I
never would have
appreciate that,
known
brother.
that
Thank
if
you.
we didn't have this conversation. And I'm so thankful that you shared that with us and with the people that are watching, because it is real. People need to know this kind of stuff. Even the strongest go
Very
through
much
it.
so. I appreciate you, family. Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
it, my brother. Thank you,
absolutely.
man. Like I always tell people, man, I've been to some of the worst in the world, right? I've been to some of the greatest. I've been to some of the worst. So I always tell people, man, when I'm walking around, I try to carry myself with an attitude. If ain't nobody dying, bombs ain't going off, we can get
Mhm.
through. We can get through the day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let me get off topic real quick. So I see you got this 12-man flag in the background. What is your observation of what's going to happen today in the game? Let's go there real quick.
Okay. Matter of fact, hey, I think this iPad is gonna die. I'm gonna jump in on my phone really quick. Give me 2 seconds because
Yep.
I don't want to be talking and die on you.
All right. Yep. Shout out to everybody that's been
I'm so
watching
sorry.
today.
We told you we're having all kind of technical difficulties today. This thing been plugged up the
it's
whole time,
it's
and
all good,
it's
man.
dying on me. I don't know what's going on, man. But I will say this: it's always hard to beat a team 3 times in a year. I don't
Yep.
care how good you are, right?
Absolutely.
Remember when we went to the Super Bowl and we had to beat San Fran 3 times in that year?
Yep.
One of the things that people were saying, as good as we are, can you beat a team 3 times in 1 year? Because what else do you have?
Right.
You have to show something different, right? So
Mhm.
for as good as San Fran is, I'm expecting a much tougher game because again, once I know you, once I know your tendencies, right? It's going to be hard. I don't care how good you are. If I can learn your tendencies, it's going to be damn hard for you to beat me.
Yep. For sure. You got a score prediction? What you think?
Hold on, say that one more time.
You got a prediction for the score?
Oh, you know what? I never like to do score predictions. I'm such a student of the game, all right?
Yeah.
But if I had to give you one, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna say this. Unfortunately, as much listen, you see the flag, bro. Come to the house, man. My whole house Seahawk.
Oh yeah, all
21-17
day.
49ers. 21-17 49ers.
Okay.
Head, right? And I love Hawks. You see it. I love my team.
Yeah, for sure.
I just don't know if we're there yet, right? So here's the thing: they have a really, really great run game where we don't, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
We're not we're good this year in the run, but we haven't been able to stop the edges. Our edges have been horrible this year. We have up
Right.
what was it? I think almost 160 yards in 2 games just on outside runs.
Right.
And then now you're
Absolutely.
going to add in Debo's playing. That boy Christian
Yeah.
McCaffrey is a monster, right?
Yeah.
They run the ball
You
very
know.
well. Kyle Shanahan is a beautiful football mind, dude. Like I would love to sit down and just talk X's and O's with, because he is a beautiful football mind. The man he's very intelligent. The way he's able to read a defense and dice up a defense and take away your strengths on an offense. You normally see that for a defense, but the
Right.
way he's able to take away the defense's strengths, right, and attack your weaknesses and make your weaknesses have to be a strength. That dude is smart, man. That is a great football coach. Great football coach.
Okay. So 21-17. All right.
21-17.
I mean, I can see it.
Unfortunately.
I think I mean, I'm always going to root my team on, y'all know what it is with me. I can't accept a loss until I see it, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm going to go with 24-17 Hawks. I mean,
Oh yeah?
I have to.
Okay.
I have to,
You know what?
bro. I have
I can
to.
see it. I
I
can
think,
see it happening, right?
yeah,
But Gino is going to have to play out his mind.
yeah.
Gino's going to have to play out his mind.
But the defense has been playing better at the end of the season. I have to give it to Seattle's D has been stout. Obviously last game when we played the 49ers, it wasn't the defense's fault the whole time. Like I would say, if you watched the last game, it was the offense lost the ball on like the 25-yard line. They picked it up and ran it to the 4. That was the end of the second quarter. They scored a touchdown, got the ball back at the beginning of the second half, and they scored a touchdown. So that was like 14 points, and we were down.
Yep.
I think it was 17-3 after that or something like that.
It's not out the cards, right? I'll say that. It's not out of the cards. We're just going to have to play lights out. Like on defensively, we're going to have to force them up the middle, right? Take away big plays and force them to really work the field. We're going to have to make Brock Purdy beat us. If we can make
absolutely
about Brock, then we got a game. If allow them to run it down our throat and control the clock, we're in trouble. We're in trouble.
Absolutely.
But if we make it a passing game, make Brock Purdy nervous, make him have to really put the ball in the air and really force the pass, we got a shot. We got a real shot. But if they're on us and they can get to them edges, boy, it's gonna be a long day.
Well, I'm hoping that it's going to be a long day of, good fortune for us. We need it. I mean, even we're on extra time here. Nobody expected us to be here.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
So it should be a good game either way it goes. Hopefully, it's a close one and it comes down to the wire. I have a feeling we might sneak it. We'll see though. We'll see. But anyways, it's getting late, man. The game should be coming up here real soon.
It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me.
We got about
it wouldn't surprise me either. Go Hawks! All my Hawks fans, I see y'all out there, and I see Shay. Shay, Cowboys is going down. Sorry. Anyways, y'all. Hey, we're gonna close up shop, guys. It's getting late. We don't want to miss the game. Thank you guys all for being here and spending a little time with us. I think his phone his tablet just died on us. He said it was dying. I think it may have went ahead and passed on. Let me bring him back on real quick.
There we go.
Are you there? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, fam. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Technical difficulties.
But anyways, y'all. Hey, it's all a part of this technology thing. It's expected. I'm not surprised because I am a long way from home, so I expect a little bit of technical difficulties, but we make it work. We make it do what it do.
We got through it though, right?
Absolutely, man. Toom, I do appreciate you for coming on, man, and sharing your knowledge, your insight. And I hope and pray that we get to do this again real soon.
Oh man,
I think you're an amazing person.
We're gonna do this a whole lot more, brother. This was dope, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah. I think you got an amazing aura about you, man. And for all those people out there that are a little iffy about Toom, trust me. Seal of approval over here. That's my guy right there. I got his back.
I appreciate you, brother. For real, man. Thank you, man. For real, brother.
Keep doing amazing work with the kids. I see you with your sons getting that workout in.
Yes, sir.
I need to come and get down with you guys.
Come on to the dungeon, man. Come on to the dungeon.
I need to. But thanks again, man. We're going to go ahead and close up shop. Thank you guys again for being here for Circle Talk this week. Make sure you guys check out next. We're going to be live at Intention Smoothies with Kareem Razak, another brother that's a coach out at Foss High School doing amazing work with the kids out there. And he has an amazing story that he wants to share as well. He got some dirt that he wants to sprinkle on my show. So we're going to have it going down next week. So thank y'all for being here. We'll see y'all next week. Take care. Peace.